All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into this article that you sent us. It claims complete healing from arthritis in just 21 days. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty incredible and maybe a little too good to be true. It definitely piqued my curiosity, though. The article is by Shelley Manning, who claims she reversed her own severe arthritis and now helps others do the same. So what are your initial thoughts when you hear claims like this?
Well, it's natural to be intrigued, but also skeptical, right? I mean, arthritis is a condition that impacts so many people, and the idea of a quick fix is naturally going to grab attention, but we need to approach these claims carefully.
Absolutely. So the article starts with Shelley's personal story. She describes feeling hopeless about her arthritis, going through a divorce, and then impulsively taking a trip to Hong Kong.
Interesting how she frames this trip as a turning point. It sets the stage for this almost unbelievable encounter.
Right, like she's setting up a scene in a movie. She's in a restaurant in Hong Kong and meets this mysterious woman named Janard Kuo. Janard Kuo whips up this special tea and soup for her, and boom, Shelley claims her pain vanishes. You can check out Shelley's program, The Arthritis Strategy, for yourself. We've included the link in the description below.
Okay, but let's pause there for a second. While anecdotal evidence can be compelling, it's important to remember it's not scientific proof. Many things could contribute to a temporary reduction in pain.
That's a great point. So how common is it to see temporary pain reduction? And what might mislead people into thinking it's a cure?
Well, pain perception is complex. It can be influenced by various factors, including placebo effects, changes in mood, or even just the distraction of being in a new environment. It's not uncommon for people to experience fluctuations in pain levels, and sometimes those fluctuations coincide with trying a new treatment, even if that treatment doesn't actually address the underlying cause of the condition.
That makes a lot of sense. So Janard Kuo tells Shelley that where IAG comes from, in Southeast China, arthritis is almost unheard of because of their lifestyle and diet. This leads Shelley to believe that maybe arthritis isn't just about genetics, but also about lifestyle choices.
That's a key takeaway from their article, and it's actually something that's gaining more and more attention in the scientific community. There's growing evidence that lifestyle factors, like diet and exercise, can significantly impact the development and severity of arthritis.
So is she onto something there? Could lifestyle really be that big of a factor?
There's definitely a connection, but it's important to remember that it's rarely the sole cause. Genetics, age, and other factors also play a role. Arthritis is complex, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Okay, that's a good reminder. So Shelley comes back from Hong Kong determined to figure out how to apply this secret to her own life. She researches the ingredients Janard Kuo used and claims to have found Western counterparts backed by scientific studies.
This is where we need to start looking at the evidence more closely. She mentions 47 studies, but without seeing the specifics, it's hard to evaluate their quality.
Right. So what kind of things should we be looking for? What would make these studies more or less convincing?
We'd want to see studies published in reputable journals with rigorous methodologies, large sample sizes, and ideally, findings that have been replicated by other researchers.
So not just any study will do. Makes sense.
Exactly. And we need to remember that even well-conducted studies can have limitations and might not be generalizable to everyone.
Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into Shelley's program. She calls it the Arthritis Strategy, and you can actually find a link to the official website in the description below. She claims it's a 21-day program that involves specific diet changes, supplements, and exercises. But she also says you don't have to completely overhaul your life, which I found interesting.
That's a good point. Small, sustainable changes are often more effective than trying to make drastic changes that are hard to maintain over time.
I agree. Now, she also mentions that the strategy might need to be tweaked depending on the type of arthritis you have. Does that sound about right?
That's crucial. Different types of arthritis have different underlying mechanisms and may require different approaches. A personalized plan is always going to be better than a generic one-size-fits-all approach.
So even though she's promoting this 21-day program, it's not necessarily a cookie-cutter solution.
Exactly. And I think that highlights the importance of working with a healthcare professional who can help you understand your specific type of arthritis and develop a plan that's tailored to your needs.
That's a great point. So we've got this intriguing story, a focus on lifestyle changes, and a program that claims to deliver results in just 21 days. But how does this all connect back to the science of arthritis? What do we actually know about the potential for healing?
That's where we need to separate the hype from the evidence. While some people may see improvements quickly, complete and permanent healing in such a short time frame is highly unlikely, especially for a condition as complex as arthritis. That's right. It's important to be realistic about expectations. While lifestyle changes can have a positive impact, arthritis is a chronic condition, and managing it effectively often involves a long-term approach.
Okay, so while a 21-day miracle might be pushing it, there's still potential for real progress through these strategies. Speaking of which, let's unpack Shelley's arthritis strategy a bit more. She mentions diet changes being a key part of her program. If you're curious about the specifics, we've got a link to the Arthritis Strategy website in the description below. What's the connection between diet and arthritis?
Well, there's a growing body of research highlighting the link between inflammation and arthritis. Certain foods can trigger or worsen inflammation in the body, while others have anti-inflammatory properties.
So what she's suggesting about diet isn't just some random idea. There's actual science behind it.
Exactly. Shelley talks about cutting back on processed foods, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats, which are known to contribute to inflammation. And she encourages incorporating more anti-inflammatory foods, like fruits, vegetables, fatty fish, and nuts. This aligns with current research on dietary approaches to managing arthritis.
That makes sense. It's like you're giving your body the tools it needs to fight inflammation from the inside out.
That's a great way to put it. And this focus on an anti-inflammatory diet is often recommended by healthcare professionals for people with arthritis.
So it seems like there's a lot of overlap between what Shelley's suggesting and what's generally considered good practice in managing arthritis.
Absolutely. And this is where it becomes important to distinguish between the core principles of her program and the more attention-grabbing claims. The focus on an anti-inflammatory diet is definitely something that has scientific backing.
Okay, so let's move on to supplements. Shelley mentions using specific supplements to support joint health and manage arthritis symptoms. And if you want to see exactly what she recommends, you can check out the link to the Arthritis Strategy website in the description below. What's your take on the use of supplements for arthritis?
Supplements can be a helpful adjunct to an overall arthritis management plan, but it's crucial to approach them with caution and consult with your doctor before adding anything new to your regimen.
So it's not as simple as just popping a pill and expecting a miracle.
Right. Supplements aren't regulated in the same way as medications, so it's important to do your research and choose reputable brands. Plus, some supplements can interact with medications or have side effects.
That's a good reminder. So what should people keep in mind when considering supplements for arthritis? What are some red flags to watch out for?
Be wary of products making outlandish claims or promising quick fixes. Look for supplements backed by scientific research, and choose brands that prioritize quality and transparency. And most importantly, involve your doctor in the decision-making process.
Okay, so informed decision-making and open communication with your doctor are key. That makes sense. Now, Shelley also talks about the importance of exercise in her program. What types of exercises are generally recommended for people with arthritis?
Well, it depends on the individual and the type and severity of their arthritis. But generally, low-impact activities are a good starting point. Think walking, swimming, cycling, or even yoga. These types of exercises can help strengthen muscles around the joints, improve flexibility and range of motion, and reduce pain and stiffness.
So it's not about pushing yourself to the limit, but rather about finding activities you enjoy and that feel good for your body.
Exactly. It's about listening to your body and finding that sweet spot where you're challenging yourself without overdoing it.
And I imagine starting slowly and gradually increasing the intensity as you get stronger is key.
Absolutely. And remember, consistency is more important than intensity. Even short bursts of activity throughout the day can make a difference.
Okay, so we've talked about diet, supplements, and exercise. What about the mental and emotional aspects of living with arthritis? Shelley mentions that her program can help people regain our confidence and live a more fulfilling life.
That's an important aspect that's often overlooked. Living with chronic pain can take a toll on your mental health, leading to feelings of frustration, sadness, or even hopelessness.
So it's not just about treating the physical symptoms, but also about addressing the emotional and psychological impact of the condition.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that your well-being encompasses both your physical and mental health.
So how can people better support their mental health while managing arthritis?
It's crucial to find healthy coping mechanisms for dealing with stress and pain. This could involve practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation, connecting with supportive friends and family, or even seeking professional help from a therapist or counselor.
Those are all great suggestions. And I think it ties back to what we were discussing earlier about community. Shelley emphasizes the importance of building a supportive community within her program, which is something you can learn more about at the link to the Arthritis Strategy website in the description below.